ISUPK 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK down in Florida. I'm Captain of 10,000 GEN.YAHANNA. We here to let you know 53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commands. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022. It's going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
Power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000.
But the go live got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal. I got my reach. Said I was gonna get it. They gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Can't stop, I can't now. Hold on, let me get the breakdown. Train to go like a K now. I'm about to let my light shine. We piped up, tell them pipe down. These niggas selling pipe dreams. Baby girl, sweet as ice cream, and I need, you better believe. Sit back, look at my cheeks. Why you had to take my demeanor? Competition ain't free. I'm about to take them to the cleats. They gon' get started depressed. Please not start no mess. These niggas petty and I'm not impressed. I have them holding his chest like he having heart attacks. Told you I'm hard to death. I know that they see it, but they don't believe. Look at them so misleading. 144, mission complete. We undefeated, you better believe. Fuck being equal, I'm being equal. Drop a line note like a bomb motor. Prepare for the fallout. One way solid, what you talking about? Me and my nigga bout to ball out. These little nigga better bow out. Tell them rank up, tell them fall out. I'm on my job, I can't call out. I'm in the wind, I want it all now. Don't give a damn about the track record, little nigga, you about to lose today. Look, I got moves to make. You can even move, you can get moved away. Choose your fate. Most of these fools, they fake. Ain't got a card to play. Nigga, they ain't hard to break. It's gonna get dark today, like the rest of Sean told the harder way. Nigga, wait out of your league, please believe. But the go live got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal. I got my reason. I'm gon' get it. Know they gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Sick with it, now you know that. Fuck the world, I can't go back. Ain't no coward, I don't know that. Bitch, I'd rather take a toe tag. Run it up, you know I'm good to go. Work my ball, you know I'm good as gold. They want smoke, I'm revenge naked in my bedroom doing the Tootsie Roll. Big dog niggas, I'm trying. It's my time, way out of line, way out of bounds. Oh, you ain't noticed the line. That on my flow is a vibe. I know it's gon' be stressed. I know it's gon' be pressure. Gotta stay focused. It's a cool word, baby girl. I should be a soldier, you should be my loaded. It feel like something controlling me, spirit take over me, holding me high react. Believe me, it's over, look over my shoulder, and I see my soldiers, and they ain't no play. He spitting the fake, he real, but I'm real. Fucking leader, I don't feel him. Fucking God, I don't feel him. Cut his eye, I'm about to kill him. Wait, hold up, let me catch the rhythm. Okay, I got it, I'm ready. He cross that line, he gon' regret it. No high rock, I rock it steady. Hope he keep it going steady. You better believe me. Certified, one west solid, it ain't hard to tell. Can't let this hard as hell. These people racist, nigga, better watch yourself. I'm getting this milk. Chasing them blue faces like I'm Gargamel. And I work too hard to fail. Glock with me, gotta guard yourself. You know why I keep it, they try to come get me, I'm squeezing, you better believe. But the go live got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about. Got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal. I got my reasons. I'm gonna get it. Yeah. You know they gonna see, but they ain't gonna believe. Like that. Yeah.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh? You young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough enough. I don't think y'all really wanna fuck with us. I told you we no bitches. I'ma need for you to listen while I paint this perfect picture. We not Christians, watch your mouth. Have them angels in your house. And them people bring you out. Bitch, you know we got that power. And you know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that bullshit? Well, I'm on it too. Oh, you think I'm bullshitting? Wait till I get with ya. If I gotta go to ground, I'ma shut the town down. I ain't about to stop until I hear stand down. All you gonna see is a lot of man down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord, of course, on one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go to ground. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord, of course, on one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go to ground.
As I live, if I live, let me make one thing clear. The Lord is the only man I fear.
We are not the same. No, we not related. I'm not stuck on living. Death is a vacation. My camp undefeated. You cannot debate it. You just want the clout. We just want the greatest. I'm just trying to get it. If not, I'm trying to take it. Give me that. I say fuck the devil. You think I'm talking Satan? One West in my blood. I'm a UPK creation. We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud. Straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord, of course, on one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go to ground. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. They know about that shit. With the Lord, of course, on one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. 144, we go nigga. To ground.
You see me riding with them people I be sliding with. We take the truth, ain't no denying it. It's this fire I spit, I got that line script. I put that pressure on them, about to put extra on them. This how the Lord is doing you. Boy, I tried to warn you. We go to ground, I own your time, yeah. You wanna blaze, we in them last days. They tried to keep my niggas locked up in them cages, yeah. I'm in pages, yeah. In them scriptures, yeah. I'm gon' flip it, yeah. I got that shit rockin'. Got that bulletproof hearted spirit, yeah. Retarded with this Glock, I'm gon' give it to you. You with them niggas that's gon' go to ground. Take over and you know your place. Make no mistakes. There ain't gon' be no trace. Ain't gon' be nothing left. Spit to my last breath. Boy, better watch yourself. I'm coming with lashes. Hey, leave them niggas in them ashes. I'm flowing like ashes. They killing the masses. It's cool, cuz when I meet the king, we gon' be masters. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, man? What's going on, y'all? ISUPK.com. I'm jumping in for highs on the Saturday night. I gotta hear some feedback. Y'all getting some feedback from me?
Count.
Oh man, there's always some feedback. I might jump in like a chipmunk, man.
And take 2 seconds so we can take a quick break and come right back.
You said to come out?
So we can take a quick break and just try to reboot it again and see.
Okay, is everybody getting that, or am I just the only one generating?
It's done now.
Huh?
It had just stopped.
Okay, I'm still hearing it when y'all speak.
What about now, sir?
It's gone.
Okay.
For me, it's gone. What about y'all?
Yes, sir. It's gone now, sir.
Okay, so we good to go?
Count.
I hear it coming back.
I think General Q, it might be from your side, sir.
Q, you got something special on over there? Put mine on mute for a second.
Testing 1, 2.
I don't hear anything now, sir.
I think it might be coming from me.
Testing 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
It's fine.
No, it's not coming from you, gentlemen.
It's coming from Q, maybe?
I think so, sir.
Q, unmute yourself and see. Let's see if it's coming from you. I can't hear you, Q. Y'all hear Q?
Nah, sir.
Nah, sir.
Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
I can hear you now, sir.
Yeah, we hear you good now, sir.
Nobody can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Q. We hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear us?
I can't hear anybody.
Okay, he got an issue with his then.
How about now, sir? You hearing now, sir?
Yeah, I just switched everything away. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I can.
So we good, y'all?
Count, sir.
All right. What's going on, fam? Welcome to the show. Glad everybody was able to jump in with us, man. Oh, man, I had to get in here with y'all on this one, boy. I said, boy, I'm going to get in here with y'all on this one because I knew that y'all was going to want to talk about all the Rittenhouse written rules. So do y'all want to open with that or y'all want to open with something else? Y'all in the chat room, tell us y'all want to open up with the Rittenhouse or y'all want to hit something first? Oh, what y'all want to do, man? In a big shout out to Aria Allah, Ephraim Gutierrez, Army of Yahweh. Big shout out to y'all. Cocoa Puff Head, what's going on, girl? UPK Shabal. Who else up in here with us? Let me give some shout outs up in here. I'm a 1500. What's going on? Yashar Banaf, Shalom. Obadiah, what's going on? John Johnson, D'Angelo, what's going on? UPK Yasab, what's going on? Dabala, what's going on? Frankie, what's going on? I know Just Art and Paint is in here. I don't see her, but I don't need to see her. I know she here. All right. Gresha, Matazaya Allah, Antone, Dorcas, what Lenny? Okay, what's happening? Troopers up in there. There she go, Just Art and Paint. Crystal, what's happening? There she go. Was found not guilty on all 5 white privilege counts. So y'all, what y'all want to do? You got to hit the chat room. Tell us y'all want to start with Rittenhouse or y'all want to go to something else first. Okay, the numbers is still pumping up. Why don't we open with something else?
Count. That's the wild.
All right, Charles says Rittenhouse, but let's hold off a second. Let's just let's let everybody get in the room. Give everybody a second to get up in the room, man. Get this thing crack-a-lacking. So what can we open? What can we open with?
We have the baby who is not everybody baby anymore.
Yes, the baby. Let's get that.
Okay.
Somebody want to read that, or you want to play some of the video?
The
baby went viral this week. The baby went absolutely viral this week. Okay. And of course, everybody jump in when you get ready. The baby went viral this week because he so-called put his woman out with the baby. I don't think he actually fully put her out as much as he tried to protect himself. But anyway, they saying he put her out. You got the story already or what?
Brother, pulling this up now, sir. I'm about to pull up the Instagram live with the
Yeah, do your thing. Like the baby. If you, I'm gonna tell you something. That tape on a series of TikTok tapes of the baby, so-called putting her out, and that whole situation is unfortunately for black women. Let me know if you want me to mute while you play it.
No, so I was just running that while he was talking. So.
Okay, well let me keep going. A lot of you, most of you out there, already saw the video. You saw how the baby rolled the whole thing down. Let me tell you something. Unfortunately for black women, the terrorism that has been done to black men have led them to what you saw the baby do.
Right.
Because the baby got so much more finances to protect, he's thinking a lot differently than the average brother thinks on the street when dealing with a sister that goes off.
That's right.
Okay, now, according to them, the root of the issue was that she was upset with him because he was spending a lot of money on his child's mother and their living situation. She had been, now this sister been living with him for 3 months. I believe she's a sister. I believe she's a Simeonite.
Okay.
And she been living with him for 3 months. And while living with him for them 3 months, she's got to see a better side of what he does every day. Got upset. And according to the baby, now this is his side of the story. According to him, she started getting irate and crazy because she just had a new baby by him. And of course, she wants the same kind of respect and finance and so forth that his baby mother has. But what's happening now is these brothers is getting wise to the game. And they starting to use things like cell phones. They starting to use the police now, something that black men never did before.
Right.
Black men almost never called the cops on a black woman. Y'all getting feedback from me?
Lassa.
Black women almost never call the cops. And y'all jump in anytime y'all get ready. Black men almost never call the cops on black women. But they getting hip to the game now. They getting hip to the game, hip to the courts, because over the last 2 decades, I would say over the last 20 years, maybe a little more, black and Latino women have been destroying black men's lives.
Mm-hmm.
They've been totally wrecking black men's lives right now across America. This is not what's spoken about. Black men across America have damn near been eliminated as being even a person in this society.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They getting hit with child support cases. They barely making a few dollars, many of them. Now, not in his case, but in many cases, brothers working regular jobs, getting slapped with child support and cannot even get a room to put a roof over their head. Mm-hmm. And like anybody in poverty, when you're in super poverty, you often have to make choices for survival. Right. And them choices lead you sometimes to end up homeless or end up losing your job or end up in a conflict. And as a result, your child support get cut off. And now you in an even worse situation because now you got warrants. Well, that's what was about to happen here if he had not done what he did. The minute he saw her starting to put her hands on him, threatening him, you see how she up in his face? Trying to threaten him, start demanding stuff. He popped out his cell phone and started filming it. Earlier than that, she put her hands on him. And it was at one point where it looked like she was going to put her hands on him again. And he was like, can you take your hands off of me? Can you take your hands off of me? And what has happened in the empire, y'all, again, jump in when you get ready. What happened in, go ahead, somebody was going to say something?
Lawson.
What happened in this empire, that black women have been calling the cops on black men, getting them locked up and thrown out in the streets so much that they have become emboldened with it. They comfortable with it. They comfortable getting up in a black man's face and all that. If it wasn't for the cops, they would never, a black or Latino woman would never get up in a black man's face because she would be afraid of what he would do or could do to her. But she's totally bold. She's like a mama. See how she got her hands on her hip? Yelling at him at the back of his head.
Right.
All of that is over 20 years, 30 years of having power over men and being able to just throw them in the street, call the cops, put them on child support, wreck their lives. And you be sitting there running from warrants, paying the child support while a woman is sitting back talking to you like a dog, treating you like a dog, doling out time with your children like a dog. And so black men, especially those that are making a few dollars, they starting to say, nah, we ain't doing that no more. I'm going to start using the law against her the way she's been using it against her. I'm going to tell you what you about to see coming up next soon. What you about to see coming up soon is watch black men going to start coming out and demanding prenups with black women. Watch what I'm saying. Prenups are coming back. Because they're going to start using the law against you black women, unfortunately, because black men don't like it and Latino men don't like using the law.
Right.
They don't like calling no cops to put no woman out. They don't like none of that, but they've learned over time to play their hand a whole lot differently now. And now they got, and once again, this system, okay, that Esau have set up, that the empire have set up to slay us, have just made black men become an inch more colder towards their black and Latino women. And so now they're willing to do the measures under Esau to go and get these women dealt with in a certain way. Y'all come on, get in this, man. You want me to keep going?
Nah, you so right. So it's like that. The same thing with Kanye West. I don't know if you remember, before he got with the Kardashian girl, he had a song, the Gold Digger. And
yes,
he had a lyric in his song where he was saying brothers, rich brothers would be yelling, "We want prenup. We want prenup."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he go marry the same white girl he talk about in the song, and now she taking all his money. He ain't got no prenup. So you so right, like that's coming next.
That's coming next. Here. Like poor brothers in the hood are going to start prenups. Okay. After a while, you're gonna see brothers start they're gonna be coming up with all kind of stuff to deal with these women because of the terrorism that these women unleash once they unhappy with you or once they mad with you because you got another woman. And he had this woman before her.
Right.
He had this woman and this child before her, right or wrong?
Come.
Kind of one concert.
You know what I'm saying? So he had this woman before her. She mad at what's going on with him and that baby mama. And so she started to flex. And he turned around and flexed. And my understanding is she got arrested when the cops came and got the whole story. Then she got arrested and locked up. So, of course, you understand, everybody's upset and want to blame him for it.
It's a lot, Jim.
Go ahead.
And the feminist perspective, they're definitely upset because they, like you said, they've seen the tables turn in this situation. And it's obvious that she's the aggressor in this situation, like you previously stated. Yeah. So like now, black men, especially after the whole thing that happened, the baby been going through a lot of stuff since this whole LGBTQI cancellation. So now he's starting to move. I don't know who his team is and who his advisors are, but he's starting to, like you said, he's playing defense now.
Yeah.
So, a lot of these women, they confuse a relationship for a dictatorship because they have a child with a man or different things like that. So now, like you said, backing up everything you said, everything you just prophesied is what's coming to fruition now. Because, he had to weaponize his phone against her by showing her the evidence. And then and people were on the live. People were this thing here, I think, was live, and you had people, his fans, a lot of people who follow him and subscribe to him,
and her page are seeing this unfold.
Right.
So it definitely was it was something shameful, but it's something for us to keep the magnifying glass on dealing with our relationships. Salaki.
Somebody else coming in?
Just one thing said, and this just goes to show you, you know what I mean, you think they have money and they're gonna enjoy life, you know what I mean, they're gonna be happy because they have money. You know what I mean? They're suffering just like, you know what I mean, anybody in the hood basically. You know what I mean, with this type of, you know what I mean, relationship.
Yep. The only reason he ain't go to jail, because normally once the cops show up on a domestic issue, they ask the brother to leave. You know, even if it's his house, he paying the rent, he, you know, whatever it is, they find some way to say, well, you know, you go somewhere else and chill. Like as you say, it's the money for sure. He had it on his side, but that happening over and over in all our communities. And the brothers, you know, whether she's the aggressor, whether she's innocent, the brothers is always, you know, suspect number one, vilified, you know, kicked out the house, dethroned, damn near, always dethroned when these type of situations happen.
And if I could too, and this is more reason for brothers and sisters to seek counsel.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The Bible says in the multitude of counsel there's safety. This is why you brothers, like, because we've been in oppression so much, we don't even know how to have a relationship or a marriage.
Right.
We don't know the principles and the core principles of even cohabitating.
Right.
So this is why the ISUPK, we provide these types of services. A lot of you need marriage consultations. You need relationship consultation. And this is where you come to get that. We've been telling you celebrities for a long time to humble yourself and pick up the phone and call the ISUPK and get the counseling you need about these situations, because the Bible deals with all of this. You understand? So you need to pick up that phone, you know what I'm saying, as soon as possible when you have these types of issues, to get counsel from priests and prophets of the Lord, not social media, but from priests and prophets of the Lord. Commander GEN.YAHANNA has laid these things out. So you need to pick up that phone, you know what I'm saying, and terms and conditions may apply. Shalom.
Yeah, and if I could, he had a good team with him. That sister and that brother that was in the room, like they handled that thing masterfully, and that's why she didn't get away with it. The brother came out the back with the camera. The sister was right there, it controlling. Even when he kept telling the sister, "You need to call them dudes. You need to call them dudes." She was waiting and waiting and waiting, and she waited till she couldn't wait no more, and then she went ahead and called. And got Esau down there and up in the middle of it.
Right.
And them video cameras is now they catching these black women. For years, black women was calling the cops and accusing the man of having assaulted her.
Right.
In some cases, the woman would attack the man, bust him in the face or something, go crazy on him. And then, of course, in his attempt to restrain her, or sometimes he'll just get pissed off and beat her ass. And then when the cops come, he's on his way to jail. Yeah. But these cameras in these phones have turned the tide on them. And now they're not getting away with what they used to be able to get away with. And see, this is her crying afterwards because, of course, her plan didn't work out. Remember, a minute ago, we was watching her with a hand on her hip, watching her all up in his face and the back of his head disrespectfully. You understand? But now that it didn't work, of course she's upset now.
That's a lot, gentlemen.
Come on.
And it's so heavy because with social media now, you get it's almost that you get to be in the personal space of these celebrities now. Even with like Clubhouse, you can talk to these celebrities on different issues. You get to see them without the makeup, without their hair being done. You know what I'm saying? Like in certain different spaces where you didn't get to see before.
You so right.
You know what I'm saying? In certain intimate spaces or personal spaces that a fan or a person of outside observer wouldn't get to see. Now we seeing it. Now we get to see the emotional breakdown. Now we get to see what happens when lights, camera, and action, goes off. And in most cases have conversations with them. So like you said, General, it's so heavy. So like
Go ahead. Whoever was jumping in.
And I just wanted to give the flip side. because of course, you know, they're going to play the other one. He might have, Baby might have had a little success, but then you had that the former NFL player Zach Stacy, who beat the white woman halfway to death, and she caught it on camera, and that footage is outrageous.
We gonna get to that story as well. That's on the list, but because that's a good story as well. So, but back to this story, right? It's heavy how he, you know, played his hand the whole time. He didn't even directly speak to her directly. And look how she all up in his face. He telling his assistant to call the cops, whoever the sister is. I'm assuming that's his assistant. Look how she right up on him. Look at her hand on her hip. Look at the whole posture that she's taking. Because this is what normally happens. But it didn't happen in this case. And quite frankly, you know, I'm not a fan of calling Esau. I don't never call Esau.
Right.
But I'm not shocked that this happened, because of course black men are under deep assault by a certain section of these black and Latino women, man.
Right.
Like brothers is under hell. A lot of brothers is under hell. And a lot of you young brothers, like Kahan said, you should get counsel, because a lot of you young brothers you having babies out there, and you in your 20s out, and some broad got you hemmed up. You can't even move. You can't make no money. You 20-something years old, full of energy, man, pushing 40 hours a week on a slavery, and you barely got enough money to go, you know, buy yourself a burger at the end of the week. Right. Because you done got trapped off in these situations, man. And if you went and got counsel, you could get help. You see how he asked her to back up off him?
Right.
He was all up on his shoulder. At him. You know what I mean? But he played it right and got her dealt with, man. And that's the future. But look how she all on his neck. She ain't got no textbook. Yeah, you see how she got no kind of problem with it. No problem with it whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Salaga, General, and it's so heavy because, like, just seeing this, they are arguing their case before social media. It's almost like we're in a court of public opinion now.
Social media,
right? But unfortunately, and in that number said that he thinks her dad is an Edomite. So she might be a devil all the way around. But I understand what you're saying, Kahan. But at the same time, I noticed that I hate to say this, but that social media is becoming a defense for brothers. It's damn near like that camera is becoming a way for brothers to get seen, whereas in the past they wouldn't even get seen.
Yeah. If
I lost you, Kahan. I don't hear him. You hear him?
Oh no, Colonel McCall, I'm backing up Zach. What you said, sir, is all the way right, sir. It's a lot.
Hey, we got to run from this one, man. Let's go on and get this Rittenhouse story in play.
Come on. All right. The rat-a-tat-tat.
Go ahead, read.
Yeah, please.
Come on.
These are the 5 charges the jury in Kyle Rittenhouse's trial considered. Kyle Rittenhouse on Friday was acquitted on the charges against him by a jury in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The 12 jurors had considered 5 felony counts against Rittenhouse. A misdemeanor weapons charge was dismissed by the judge as proceedings opened Monday morning. Using an AR-15 type rifle, he killed Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Huber, 26, and wounded Gage Grosskreutz, 27, during street demonstrations over the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Here are the counts the jury weighed. First degree reckless homicide, use of a dangerous weapon. Count 1 states Rittenhouse recklessly caused the death of Rosenbaum under circumstances that showed utter disregard for human life. The judge denied a prosecution request for the jury to also be instructed on second-degree reckless homicide. Rittenhouse testified he acted in self-defense, when he fatally shot Rosenbaum after the man threw a plastic bag at him and chased him. I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself, he testified. Under cross-examination, Rittenhouse said he knew Rosenbaum was unarmed. He said he pointed his rifle at Rosenbaum in an attempt to deter him and acknowledged it was dangerous. If I would have let Mr. Rosenbaum take my firearm from me, he would have used it and killed me with it, and probably killed more people, he testified. Rittenhouse broke down in tears at one point, leading to a short break. I think it was a game changer to put him on the stand. CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson said, number one, you humanize him. More important, number two, he explained his uses of force. Rittenhouse testimony couldn't have been scripted any better. Criminal defense attorney Mark Eiglarsh said, the biggest issue is whether the jury finds Rittenhouse credible, he told CNN. Secondly, do they believe then that it equals he reasonably feared death or great bodily harm? Wisconsin law allows the use of deadly force only if necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm. Whether he engaged in self-defense and did so reasonably and thought his life was in immediate danger, that's what the jury has to assess ultimately. Jackson said of Rittenhouse. Prosecutors also requested the jury be given instruction on provocation. They argued Rittenhouse provoked Rosenbaum by raising his gun and pointing it at somebody, which led to the victim running after him. The judge...
if I could just stop you right there. Like, let's be real. He got acquitted because he's a white man in Wisconsin.
That's right.
That's right.
You understand? And they took 24 hours, 25 hours to deliberate. If those was 3 black men, the deliberation would have been 30 minutes.
Right.
There'd have been 30 minutes and out the door. There's absolutely, unequivocally no way a black man would have been able to shoot to death 2 Edomites and blow the arm off of a third one,
right,
and walk away. Like if a black man had been at that January 6th riot at the Capitol and in self-defense shot and killed 2 white people and then shot a third one because he thought he was in danger, they would have thrown him under the jail. That's what's really happening here. Okay, and I don't know if y'all familiar, but the name Rittenhouse, that's a wealthy name. Even though they were poor white trash. But that name Rittenhouse is well known. Okay, you can Google that name Rittenhouse.
Good night.
Okay, that's a very powerful name in the circles of the Edomites. Okay, that's a very powerful name. That Edomite right there, like all the Edomites in this kingdom, they're able to do what they want to do. Here's the thing. Where are all the white protesters that claim they was down in the Black Lives Matter?
Right.
Right.
Where they at? They nowhere to be found.
Right.
Like black people being set up for a fall. And if I could, on top of that, y'all jump in anytime. This verdict proves one important thing. And the one important thing that this proves is that all of that protesting meant nothing without the proper action. And the proper action would have been bringing the 12 tribes together. Like black people want to protest in white America. You want to protest, but you want your protest to include white people.
There it is.
Protest to be a protest with all races together. And as a result, when it comes time for them to stand up on your behalf, where are they at? Nowhere.
Okay.
Nowhere.
And it just shows that it's going to be open season on us. You understand? They getting full authority to anytime there's any other marches or anything like that, they want to introduce to us instead of coming together. You understand? Then it's going to be open season on us for them to shoot us down in the street.
You so right, Q. Like that's the real lesson to learn. Remember, this is right on the backdrop. A lot of this all started with Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
With Trayvon Martin and what's the name of the Edomite?
George Zimmerman.
George Zimmerman, so-called what is it, community safety, whatever the hell they call him.
Yeah, security guard or
whatever the neighborhood watch or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
He got to murder Trayvon Martin, a child. He got to kill a child and walk away free and clear with and go home even after the 911 dispatch told him, do not follow him. Do not follow him. He still did not at least get second-degree manslaughter. At least. Like you followed him and got into a confrontation with him and then killed him. At the least, you caused it because you was reckless. But for a white man, that does not apply. That doesn't apply. But, and the same in this case. He can go get in the midst of a situation and cause the situation where he had to kill two people, and wound the third. But in their eyes, he's a civilian and he had the right to defend his life.
Yeah.
Like it's two standards in here, and we seem to not get it. We don't get it. Like all this, and if I could, and y'all jump in anytime. And the other thing that pisses me off about this is this. That we're such fools for their games. First of all that protest last summer, all of it was to get Joe Biden in office.
Right.
That's what it was.
That's
why it ain't. Listen, if Black Lives Matter was true to the game, they would be in the streets everywhere. Not that I'm advocating for it.
Right.
But that was to get Joe Biden in office. After Joe Biden got in office, that's it.
You exactly right.
They pretty much fizzled out until the next time they need to be called up and given a bunch of money to go do whatever it is that they're going to do in the streets.
Exactly. They were saying that Soros was paying people to march and paying people to do all kinds. You remember those reports last year? How they was getting funded. They were getting funded because you understand it was just the Democratic side of the push to get Biden into office.
That's all it was about. To the Black Knight. The Black Knight put in a comment. He said, could Rittenhouse be in the right though? He defended himself from the coming attackers when he was walking in the opposite direction. Now, let me just say this. If you only went by the videotape, okay, the Black Knight, if you only went by the videotape, you could misconstrue the fact that they were coming at him. First of all, the first one, Rosenbaum was coming at him to attack him.
Right.
Rosenbaum was coming at him to attack him, and he shot him. The other two were coming at him to try and stop him because they believed that he was, like an active shooter. So they were running at him trying to stop him. So he shot them. Now, let's argue for a second. The Black Knight, that he defended himself from all three because they were all attacking him. You still could not get away from what tons and tons of black men have gone to jail for. And that is him putting himself in that situation by driving up to those businesses with a fully loaded AR-15, and self-appointing himself a security guard for the gas station.
That's right.
For which owner he doesn't even know.
So
in other words, in any court, black men have many times. Black men have been in shootouts where people have fired at them, believing they were somebody else, and they have fired back at them. And guess what? They're in jail.
Yeah, that story came out a couple weeks ago, right? About some brothers standing in the parking lot somewhere, and the police started shooting at them.
That's right.
And they returned fire. They had to eventually let them go because they were cops. But in everyday life, there are black people that had to go to jail because somebody broke in their house
That's right.
They lit him up with their gun.
That's right.
And the judge decided that they could not go free because of how many times they shot the person.
So, like, General, and that was on their own property.
And that was on their own property. So on the for the Black Knight on the surface, if you just go by the videotape, then you could find him not guilty for trying to defend against each one of them Edomites that was running at him. But when you look at the overall picture, my God, could you imagine a black man with a loaded AR-15 in the midst of a protest and firing and killing 2 people and wounding a 3rd? You think they're gonna let him go home?
Right.
And just call it and just say it was a self-defense? Hell no. They won't say it. Go ahead, Art.
If I could, and you notice the narrative changes when they said that he came after he said he came to protect property from across state lines. And see, the thing about it is, we can argue self-defense on many different levels. But if I take myself and put myself in a jungle with many different predators, of course I'm going to have to defend myself. But I put myself in that jungle. And see, that's where the narrative changed. See, what the brother read earlier about them humanizing him with those tears. That the tears was strategic. Mm-hmm. And demons, we know in the UPK, demons know how to cry. Mm. He cried on the stand, which humanized him. That's a good point. And then, if I could, there's a picture of him on the internet right now. After he left that courtroom, when he hopped in that Chevy Malibu with the security and his legal team, he was smiling. I mean, he was happy. I don't know if Captain Shock, you can find that picture. He was gonna get off. But if you can find that picture, Captain Shock, it'll be heavy. Because we can put that picture right next to the picture where he was crying.
God damn.
I mean, he was happy. I mean, he looked, if I could use the word, trigger happy.
Yes.
And he was going to Disneyland happy. Like, that's where the Chevy was going.
Is it true?
Exactly.
Is it true?
He looked at trigger happy. You understand? So, and what this, look at that picture there. Look at that picture. Now, that's after all the tears.
Oh my God!
He rewrite, you know the old school saying, "After joy is sorrow." He rewrite that shit. He say, "Well, after sorrow is joy."
Yes, like you ain't gonna tell me them Edomites don't love America.
Yeah, is it true?
Kathy said he wins the Oscar of the year.
God. And General, if I could, General, also too, he has received offers for 2 internships.
I heard one for the governor.
Yeah,
yes,
Florida wants him to come down there and work.
So he received, not only they're going to usher him into the political world of the right wing, and I think one Representative Madison Cawthorn from North Carolina, he offered him an internship right after the not guilty verdict, and he was quoted saying, and I quote, he said, "You have the right to be armed, you have the right to be dangerous, and you have the right to be moral." So he said, be armed, be dangerous, and moral. Notice moral is at the last of the list.
Yes.
Being armed and dangerous was the first 2. This is how they operate. You understand? This is a license to kill. And to be frank, it's going to raise the stakes of the protest from here on out.
Boy,
just know that now. That's why the Democrats and Joe Biden they're nervous about this, because this now is going to raise the bar that protests, and especially armed protests.
They disagreed. They disagreed. There was a beef between the statements that Biden made and Miss Prosecutor Harris, you understand, it raised her little brow or what have you, that she was trying to play the black card a little bit. Man, I know that he made statements that were not even admissible as evidence. You understand? Meaning that they have him on tape hunting us, basically. He watching somebody from in the CVS, stealing stuff out of the CVS, talking about he should shoot them or what have you. They talk about they didn't even want it allowed into the courtroom or what have you.
Yeah.
When he was actually the aggressor and hunting and looking for an opportunity to shoot and kill.
Yes, he
Yep.
was. And if I could, recently there was a case recently in a convenience store where a black man and a black woman a black man and a black woman pulled up in front of a convenience store. When they pulled up in front of the convenience store, they cut off a white man from getting the parking space. The man went into the store to go purchase something. Y'all remember that? When he went into the store, the white man got up in his woman's face and started arguing with her about taking the space. When he came out and saw his woman arguing with her, he came out and got between him and his woman. He pushed the white man down. The white man shot the brother.
Right.
And they still charged the white man. Even though he threw the white man to the ground and was about to whoop his ass, they still charged him. And they charged him because they said he created the situation, starting the argument with his woman. But this cat gets to get away with all of that because, once again, the right wing loves him.
Yeah.
The right wing loves him. Barack Wana said he'll be back in court again soon. Why do you say that, Barack Wana?
He's going to shoot somebody up.
Paul said he remembers that. Some of y'all remember that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kyle said it was right outside like a convenience store.
Right. They said they rejected the stand your ground law. That's for Officer Arthur Young. I think they rejected the stand your ground law. You understand? And in this case, this kid clearly, and listen, and not only is he supposed to be charged, his mother is supposed to be charged too.
Yeah. That's right. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
No, come, sir. He was under 18.
Yeah.
And then I'm surprised that they when they threw out all counts, I'm surprised that he didn't even get charged for breaking the curfew. The curfew was at 8 o'clock. He was not only past those hours being underage, but past those hours armed and dangerous with a fully semi-automatic weapon during a protest.
Yeah.
Where they declared a state of emergency.
Yep.
It's a lot.
If I could too,
Go ahead. Jump in.
Yeah, as the Bible calls the oppressor a cunning hunter. You know what I mean? It's exactly like with Trayvon Martin, right? With Trayvon Martin, Zimmerman was, as you said, was told to leave Trayvon Martin alone, but he followed him and made it in a situation where he will be in a scuffle with the brother, and he can just pull his gun out and shoot him and get out scotch-free. It's the same thing with Michael Brown.
Yeah.
When the cop said he tried to reach into the car and he shot him, there's always a narrative where they're the ones being harmed and now they have to defend themselves.
Right.
They're making the situation like that.
Yeah.
It's super interesting.
They creating a situation to kill somebody.
Yeah.
He brought up an excellent point about that Michael Brown thing, though, because you got to give a big shout out to those brothers and sisters that really went at it by themselves. They didn't care about what white people thought. They went and protested, and they were treated like dog doo-doo. You understand? And they stood up against them to bring this to a head. And if they would have done anything wrong while the cops were mistreating them, then it would have been a whole nother story or what have you. When you join with the devil in order to get your point across, you understand, what you're going to do is you're going to unleash a beast that, you understand, is now going to be given all the permission in the world to do whatever he wants to you in the near future. You understand?
I remember, not to cut you off, Q, but I remember in the Ferguson case, one of the Edomites pointed a shotgun at Don Lemon from CNN.
Lemonade. They were gonna make lemonade out of Don Lemon.
To where another Edomite had to grab him and calm him down because he was so bloodthirsty. He wanted to kill Don Lemon so bad that they had to grab him and calm him down, man. And if I could, last quick point, let Q back in, is that this, like incidents like this, just give me so much vindication You understand? Y'all got to remember, I came up in the days where none of this was going on.
Right.
Wasn't no Trayvon Martin, wasn't
Right.
none of this. I came up in the days where black men were just bent over on drugs, walking around like zombies. And we knew all this was going to happen because it's in the scriptures. And sure enough, that's exactly what is happening right now. Salakia Q, go ahead, please.
No. That was it. That was all I had to say about, how we better, turn back to ourselves to solve these problems. Okay. Because
that's right.
Talk if I could, General. If that's why the Bible says wisdom should be the stability of thy times. And we've told a lot of people out there about these protests, many different factions of these black people. And of course, like you said earlier, General, we show solidarity with our people. We show solidarity. But when you get into these types of situations, you understand now that the level has been raised now. Like now, what this verdict sends to protesters on both sides is to kill or be killed.
Yeah.
When you see a weapon. Because now that other side is like, he just got away with murder. So imagine how the next armed protest is going to be. Imagine how the next person, the next Kyle Rittenhouse that shows up, he might not be so lucky. You know what I'm saying? So see, these situations here, it raised the alarm and it sets a precedent for things that's to come. And that's why different people are trying to talk to different protesters and things like that, because it can be a hot winter. It can be a hot, and then you gotta keep in mind the Aubrey, Ahmaud Arbery case is right around the corner.
Yep.
So they definitely, this is definitely vigilante justice. It sends a message for white people. They have a license to kill, white privilege, and this is why we got to come together. If I can get one scripture, General, if I could,
please. Can I just read this quote from Yahweh while you getting that scripture?
Yes, sir.
He said Rittenhouse did what his ancestors did by killing those who love his enemy. Yahweh, you got that joint so right.
Damn right.
So right. You know what I mean? And the water for the shout out, Captain. Go ahead, please.
Colonel, if I can get Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 19, verse 13. I'm sorry, chapter 9, verse 13.
I got a follow up for you too on that.
Colonel, it's so important for brothers and sisters out there who may be angry about this situation and angry about many other situations that remain nameless, to join the ISUPK. We know we are the professionals.
Right.
We know how to protest. You understand? Right. We know how to do this. A lot of you gonna get your tail blown off now, going out there, because this right here, trust me, just like with Trayvon Martin, Zimmerman got he was signing bags of Skittles. Now this Rittenhouse already got 2 internships. We ain't talking about the book deal. We ain't talking about the action figure they're gonna make for him.
The movie rights.
The water, General. The movie rights, the book deals, all of this. He has become a champion, and to so much where they want to put him as a politician, put him in the political realm for gun advocacy, self-defense, and full-out Americanism. So this is what you have. This is what they look at as a patriot. So they champion their killers and their heroes. This is why you have to get in the ISUPK. Salakia.
And Salakia, I don't mind. I don't mean to cut in, but I don't know if you all remember him taking the picture with the white symbol, with the whites. Forget what that symbol they be making.
Yeah.
He took a picture before the trial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're showing you where his allegiance is. And it's almost like he knew what he did. He was gonna get off. Because he was crying on the stand with no tears coming down his face. Salakia. I don't know how you do that. You make your face, you know what I mean? You cry with no tears.
It's in the scriptures. It's in the scriptures that he was seeking with tears. That's his way, to seek it with tears in the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? That's Esau. He's seeking with tears.
I'm right.
God. Who's going to pull the scripture, Khan?
Khan, sir.
Khan, we need to hear that.
Khan. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9, verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
That's
You
right.
understand? These are white vigilantes, and these people coming into the armed protest. You got to know. You got to keep yourself far away from them. Be wise when you dealing with these situations, man. Keep yourself far away from these people, man, because they have the power to kill, and they have shown you that. Their justice system shows you that they have the license to kill. They have deputized these white boys, and let me tell you, even with Trump, they made it a rite of passage for young white males to be this aggressive. All the way back to Virginia with the tiki torches, and when they weaponized that vehicle at Charlottesville, they have full domain in this kingdom. Go ahead.
Kawakad. And if thou, so shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou coming to him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently.
You understand? You got to know how to move. You got to know you got to have counsel and know how to deal with these people. Because fault will cost you your life. You understand? And cost others their lives. You understand that you talking about protesting. You better know who you dealing with. Go ahead.
Kawakad. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares. And that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
You understand? You in the midst of snares, meaning traps. And the battlements, if you ever look at a high tower or a fort or a castle, the battlements were those areas where you can shoot from. You understand? Those small windows where you can shoot from. You better understand you walk in the battlements of the city, man. America, this is the divided states of America. It's not the United States of America. And everybody, this place is more polarized than ever. You better understand, you better seek counsel and wisdom from the ISUPK. Commander GEN.YAHANNA has been said it, and he has prophesied it, and we seeing it right now. It's a fact. You can't argue. We don't work for the Associated Press. Salaka, sir.
Go ahead, sister.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Mashak. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to pull a scripture too, so I don't know if you wanted to go ahead. I could come after. Sir.
No, go ahead. Okay, one quick point, if I could, real quick.
No sweat.
The only point I wanted to make real quick was that here's what just burns in my soul about this. What burns in my soul about this is we protested all summer, and it meant absolutely not us directly, but meaning our people did, and it meant absolutely nothing. When there is so much we can do, like we trying to fight Edomites by the tools that other Edomites tell us to fight by. We're trying to fight Edomites and their oppression of us with the tools of John Lewis and Martin Luther King, and those ideas of marching and being abused and beaten. Now you're gonna get straight up shot to death.
That's right.
On these protests, you understand? You know, if the militias was willing to go kidnap the governor of Michigan, they certainly going to be willing to kill the Lord's chosen people. And it burns in my soul that so many of us are going to be led to the slaughter for these politicians who's really just using us.
Yeah.
When we as a people could come together with so much power, us and the other tribes come together, and we would shake kingdoms like the scripture says. You understand? But instead, we're gonna run on the street, and just like we saw in this case, when the rubber hit the road, the Edomites ain't gonna be there for you, and their program is not gonna be there for you. And worst of all, the Most High will not be there for you, which means it'll fall on deaf ears. We've been suffering 400 years in this place.
Right.
We are not going to get out of here with Esau.
Right.
We're going to get out of here by returning to the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay.
That's right.
Take a lesson from Christ's disciples when they brought down Rome after Nero's evil attack on them, man. When they brought Rome to its knees. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Mashaka. I didn't mean to take up too much.
We got some visitors in the chat too. They talking mad junk.
Yeah, I'm letting them run a little bit, Q. If they get out of line, you can go ahead and clip them. But I'm letting them get in because we're gonna let both sides of this come out. They can fuel the fire if they want on their side.
Yeah, they got
in this particular case. Now, in every case, we'll throw you devils up out of here. But since y'all got a victory, go on and big up. You know y'all want to go woo-ha, woo-ha. So we're gonna let you get up in there and bring your point. But what I really would like to hear is I'd like to hear these Edomites bring some more constructive points to what we're saying. Are you saying we are wrong for saying that this would never happen if he was a black man? Many of you Edomites, I'd like to hear from an Edomite to tell me that if this was a black man, he in Kenosha, Wisconsin, that he would get the hell off, that he would go to hell home. I'd like you to step up and say that's what you believe would have happened. You understand?
Yeah.
I think they should get a chance to go yeehaw for this fact that we lined ourselves up with Esau to do this. And if I could, even CNN was disgusting the way at the end of the trial, CNN did not. Why didn't CNN interview any of the victims' families on the courthouse steps?
Right.
Even though we appreciate them bringing out Blake's family, because this all protest started because they shot Blake in the back 7 times,
right,
like a bunch of murdering cops. Okay, which was right. But why didn't they bring the Edomite victims in so that sympathy could be fallen for them? Instead, they went to every black family and every black lawyer and every black leader with sorry eyes. Mr. So-and-so, can you tell us how you feel about about the verdict?
Right.
So we could stomp our feet and be mad and this and that. When let them Edomites get mad. Let them Edomites get mad.
Right.
Beef anyway.
Right.
So because that didn't happen, I'm giving the Edomites a little chance to open their mouth. And I mean, because we need to learn this lesson as well, like the Hun was bringing out earlier. Our plight is not their plight. These Edomites is fighting for rights to kill babies in abortion clinics. They fighting for rights to bring in communist manifestos into the government.
Right.
You understand? They want rights to, ban white men from A, B, and C, and D, and whatever else they want.
Right.
That's not why we here.
Liberals.
You understand? That's not why we here. We here because we are the ones actually dying.
Right.
I mean, they can riot through the streets. And it even became a big deal from him killing these Edomites because they finally got killed. We the ones getting killed every day in this place. Our plight is not their plight, man. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So that's why I went with the way I went with it. Go ahead.
Come on.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring on the point too, so that even with how they protect him in the case, where they really pack and seal and deliver the case, where they made the rules of what could have been allowed. Even there was that fourth person who they say got shot, the brother who kicked him in his head, trying to take the gun from him. He got shot in his leg. They didn't let him come up on his stand. They didn't even mention him as being one of the victims. There's a brother that came from behind wanting to take the gun away from him and couldn't. And he ended up getting hit in the leg where he limped away. They didn't even let him get in. They didn't let the tape get in. And the judge down there make it strict where it was a trial in a vacuum situation, like in an ideal case. Even in science, when you're doing experiments, you have ideal cases and real life cases. And the ideal case, they tell you, this is in a vacuum. And scientists will say this test is running a vacuum, meaning without moisture and gravity and everything that affects everybody else. And that's the kind of trial he had. And I wonder how far would this trial go in a precedent situation where because now you really tailor make a case within a case to get somebody off. And it's how the scripture talk about it. If I could get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, you can start at verse 1, please.
Come on, sir. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly say, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious.
Right, that's how the ungodly is. They reason with themselves and they say our life is short and tedious, short and hard. So they go out there and do whatever they have to do to make them life seem, way more better in the short time. And that's what Rittenhouse learned at 17 years old. 17 years old, like you fully equipped, damn near combat trained with an AR-15.
Completely trained. You're right.
Completely trained from the ground. You know how to keep 2 hands on it, how to keep the nozzle pointed at whoever. Like his whole reaction was not just, instinct. He was fully trained, went there to do a job because he is of the wicked. His life is short and tedious, and he want to go and get something done at 17. Like a young George Washington or a young Abraham Lincoln, like his forefathers, like a young Caesar. Like that's what he wants to do. And skip down to verse 11. And not because he did it. His society of oppressors, his network, his immediate Rittenhouse family, and the rest of them that identify with him by blood, all the sons of Cain and Lamech and Esau, who know they could commit murder and nothing would happen. This is what they did. Go ahead.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Say it again.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
One more time.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Go ahead.
For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
Right. They just fully stamp the authority with this law here, where the law is down there like it's like a piece of cloth they could cut to make a whole suit for whoever. They fully use the law as their strength, where a full-out tape with him showing intent, showing whole premeditation. If I had my AR, and he didn't say if I had a gun. He said if I had my AR with me, I would fire shots at them. That's premeditation. You say that, Kyle.
There it is.
You say don't call them victims, call them rioters and looters and this and that.
That's insane.
That is absolutely insane.
How the hell the judge gonna decide what you can call them?
Right. That's it. That's it. Like he done use the law as their strength. And I really wonder like how far would this go in terms of precedent for other things now, where somebody who is going home in their neighborhood and are accosted by a group of people and have a lawful firearm in a lawful state with licenses and did it, not travel from a whole other state underage and had somebody ship up. They call it what they call it when you go to buy a gun for somebody else?
Straw purchases.
Down there, straw transit of that AR. Now I wonder how far this would go in a precedent where the judge could put your case in a vacuum. And
they don't want to know about it. They don't really want to know about it because you understand, of course, they got the self-defense laws or what have you, and they even make situations where the cops are wrong and they could get hurt if they mess with the wrong person, you know what I'm saying? And they are being unreasonable. So they need to be careful or what have you. So, I mean, that's an excellent scripture that you're bringing out. So what you're saying, they don't want to make a president because then they'll start something, which is what they want to do, and it'll be going on in the streets or what have you.
Definitely, because even at one point, you remember Rittenhouse, at one point, he was just running. Yeah. If you remember on the tape, he was running for about 2 blocks. It's down there like he knew he had to cover a certain distance to establish, okay, I'm trying to retreat. And then he engaged. Like this, like the whole thing is like they're using the law to their strength to know how to commit this murder, how to do it, and not being subject to the law, but being, down there rulers over the law themselves, which is this place that definitely had to go, because after this, like, what the hell is next?
Exactly.
If I could, real quick, I'm checking out the Edomites in the chat room, and they acting like they don't understand what our beef is about. Right. And here's why they don't understand it. You Edomites that's listening to this show don't understand it because you don't understand how racist your people are. Right. You don't understand it because you're not on the brunt end of it. Right. Like we know. You talk about you would support Kyle no matter what color he is. Are you kidding me? If he was, you would support him right on into the penitentiary if he was black. So you would be like, I support Kyle while he's going to the penitentiary, right? If he was black, you understand? You know what I mean? Like in your stupid ass mind, you think you're just looking at the facts and that's it. The fact is that anytime you do what we do, what you do, we always pay triple the price.
Exactly.
For what you pay. Yeah. Okay? Exactly. In fact, I'm not sure there's ever been a time that a black man has killed 2 white men and wounded a third and ever gotten off. Right. I don't think in the history of America that has ever happened before. But of course, you stupid white people don't understand that. You don't understand the nature of what you've done to the Lord's chosen people in the earth. That's so you love to act like law and facts and law When here's the real facts that never get understood. The real facts that never get understood is that the whites in that jury are white supremacists by training.
Mhm.
And let me add something else to you. The blacks in that jury are in many cases white supremacists by training.
Come on.
Okay, that's the part you not understanding, but you will in the near future.
It's a lot.
Come on.
If I could, General.
Go ahead.
If I could, and it's so heavy what you're saying, General, because anytime you have what they consider a miscarriage, but we want to say abortion of justice, you in essence destroy your own society.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like they don't understand, like they don't understand right. They're so concerned about being right instead of being righteous. And what Captain Meshach said is so heavy. When you change the narrative, changing the narrative is still considered a lie. It's still considered false witness, because when a judge now can consider who's a protest and who's, attacker and all these different things, then now the whole story becomes clouded. Right. And this is what they do. When you come across state lines with an AR-15 saying you're going to defend, not leaving it up to the local authorities, but to self-appoint yourself. This right here is setting a precedent. And I'm telling you, the general is saying it himself, that these protests is going to be a lot different going forward. They're going to be a lot different. And it's going to make it hard. It's going to make it hard for protesters to be out there with armed weapons, because everybody's going to be armed to the teeth. And nobody want to get Rosenberg. They're not going to be like him. They'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Mm-hmm. Right. And if I could, I gotta bring Jake in. What Jake said? Edomite said we race baiting, right?
Right.
But Jake came back and said, divide. We were never together. And once again, once again, you Edomites in your stupid mind, you think that we bring up about what happens to us as a race. And to you, we race bait. But when OJ got acquitted in California, you Edomites went crazy across this country. Okay, you went crazy across this country when he got acquitted. Black men was getting beat up by the cops for weeks after that. Okay, and let me if I could, anybody that saw Rodney King get beat back in the 90s,
right,
is supposed to, sorry y'all, anybody that saw Rodney King back in the 90s chained up and beat like a wild dog in the streets would understand what I'm talking about. You understand? Listen, this Edomite said Rodney King was a resisting arrest.
You funny.
That's why the Lord said, somebody get me in Isaiah where he said, let him build no more cities.
Right. Blood.
Give that to me. Like for that cat that said Rodney King was resisting arrest, please.
That's a lie. It's a lie.
You Edomites in the room, you are completely incapable of being cured because you're a monster.
Yep,
you're a creature from hell, and you don't even know it.
That's
right.
Got
you Kazak, you got that scripture for me?
Kawakan, sir.
Go ahead.
Kawakan, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
The Lord said, prepare slaughter for you, for your children. This is God's word. Don't be mad at me. Don't go around saying I'm a racist. God is mad with you because of the evil that you did. This is him resisting rest. Look, this is him resisting rest. This is resisting arrest. You beating the man half to death. But he's resisting arrest. You beating a man senseless. He don't know whether to get up. And that's another thing. Like Edomites want to slam you in the head with a 10-pound nightstick. And then when you try to get up in your equilibrium and trying to function, they say you resisting arrest. You are incoherent.
Right.
Blake, what's his name? Jacob Blake? What's his first name?
Yeah, the brother who got shot, sir?
No, they got stabbed by the cops. Shot by the cops in the back.
Yeah, Jacob Blake.
That's him, sir.
Jacob Blake. Now, nowhere, CNN, the helicopter, nowhere in the Blake case. Go get the Blake tape if you could. Nowhere, and hold that scripture. Nowhere in the Blake case do they show you. No, I guess he was resistant. Nowhere in the Blake case. Look at him falling over. Look at him in his face with a nightstick with two hands, like you swing a baseball bat. Imagine getting hit in the face. Look how this cat is hitting him in the face with a nightstick with two, not one hand, two hands. Look at it, beating him to the ground. So you telling me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cops,
right?
Not one. He's already halfway on the ground. Not one cop could have climbed on him and put the handcuffs behind him. He was resisting arrest.
Right.
You Edomites are incapable of being cured, which is why this scripture applies to you, because you can't see it in the Blake case. What they don't show you on tape is how they beat this brother half senseless. And in his incoherency, he got up and went around the car to the car, and they blasted him and almost killed him.
They didn't show that part.
They didn't show you the part that right before he got up and walked around the vehicle to get in the vehicle, that those cops were beating the piss out of him in his case. Look at this here. You understand? And just so you understand this, just so you Edomites understand this as well. Resisting arrest does not give a police officer the right to assault you.
That's right.
You dumb racist pieces of garbage.
That's right.
Like resisting arrest, Edomites resist arrest. Listen, Edomites shoot at the damn cops.
Right.
That's right.
General Hazayan, brother, listen, I used to sit at the University of Penn every Saturday night and counsel General Hazayan, me, General Muhammad, and Mayat for hours while he was a police officer. And he used to tell us the stories of what would happen with him as a cop on the University of Penn campus. Them Edomites, see them? This is the part. You see that? Wait, go back to that if you could, Mashak.
Come on.
That's the part right there. You see them beating the hell out of him? They only show you a smidget of that. That's the end of the beating. That's the end of the beating right there. And listen, this guy wanted to murder him. Why would you follow a suspect around the car and you are 2 inches away from him with your gun at his back? At his back behind you. Like you know you facing his back. Okay? Like why would you hold a gun facing his back, knowing that you could shoot him in the back wrongfully?
Right.
Why would you do that? Because you're a monster. Thank you, Burning Truth. See, that's why I wanted you Edomites in. I wanted you because we're not talking crazy. They're beating the crap out of him right here. That's why, and you know how you know when a black man's getting beat? Always watch the black women bend over. Go back to the tape. Watch them bend. You see them bend? That's them yelling to stop. That's how you know when somebody getting the hell beat out of them. You see the sister bend over, like quickly bend over, like do a semi-bow.
Yeah.
That's her yelling, stop, stop, stop. That's how you know they beating the hell out of him. Yeah. Now he's incoherent here. He's not even, he don't even know what he's doing right here. He's walking. It's like you in a daze after he done beat the hell out of you. And listen, he walks around the car. He could have holstered the gun and tackled the man right there.
Right. That's right.
Instead, he followed behind him with the gun because it was his intention to murder him.
Right.
From the time he got up to walk away, this cat right here already was intending to wipe him out. Okay? He was intending to kill him. Like, that's what you do. Look at this here. Look at all the time he had that he could have took him down. And he got up after such a beating. Okay? They was beating him in the wheel well of the car.
Yep.
They was beating the hell out of him in the wheel well. Look at it. Look at the wheel well of the car. They was slamming his head against the rim of the minivan. And that's the problem with you Edomites. You believe that a black man, it's all right for a black man to die if he resists arrest. If he resists arrest, whatever happens to him is his fault. He deserved it. Well, you better get ready because the Lord said, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Right.
And you about to reap what you've sown in this earth for the last 400 years. I hate to tell you, man.
Right.
Now read that scripture for me, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all back in. Read that scripture. I'm gonna take a few minutes and then we'll move on to something else.
Kawakar, sir. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their father.
For the iniquities of their father. And just a sidebar in this Blake case. In this Blake case, the woman that called was evil as hell when she called about him. She was evil as hell, and she lied about the story and gave these Edomites all that they needed to feel justified in murder, halfway murdering and paralyzing his brother for the rest of his life. And this is just one brother. And here's what else you Edomites don't understand. You Edomites don't understand that for every case that you see on TV, there are 50 to 75 cases that you never see on TV. And I ain't telling you from I'm not telling you from news reports. I grew up in the Bronx. I'm telling you from firsthand knowledge, growing up in the Bronx in the 80s, brother. You couldn't go. You had to be prepared to be stopped and bullied and harassed and assaulted by the cops at least 3 times a week.
Right.
It was a regular part of your day, and you Edomites don't suffer none of it. And your excuse is, well, crime is in the black neighborhoods when you doing way more crime than black people.
Right.
And white people is shooting and killing and murdering their wives and robbing and breaking into places and all of that way more than black people.
Man, right.
The whole reason you got more arrests with black people is simply because black people selling drugs for their economics.
Right.
Like if you took away the drug dealing, black people would damn near be committing almost no crimes in these cities compared to what you white people do. And listen, we only talking about violent crimes. We ain't talking about all the crimes you Edomites committing that are non-violent crimes.
White collar crime.
The white collar crime, that's a whole nother category.
You know that.
Black people we ain't good at none of that.
Right.
Y'all committing all kinds of crimes, huh?
Fraud.
Okay, producing serial killers like nothing, and of course, nothing happens to you.
Right.
But we die every day from it. And that's why we say what we say in these cases. You look at it like he defended himself. Yeah, if you look at it in a microcosm of just the 3 incidents with the gun, then he did defend himself to a degree because they were coming at him. Mm-hmm. But when you look at the grand picture, he got away with murder.
Yeah.
Okay. When you look at the grand picture, he created a situation to murder black people. And brother, every white supremacist can't wait is oiling up his gun now, waiting. Because here's what the door that's opening up, and I'm gonna read the scripture, let y'all back in Salaki. The door that's opening up now is regular white people get to do what the cops did, which they've been trying to do anyway. That's what the Ahmaud Arbery case is about. They want the ability to go back to the days of the 50s where they don't have to wait on the cops, wait on justice. They want to just be acquitted because they're white, so that this way they can split heads and so-called get things in order and stop all these black criminals when they are the damn criminals, man. They just found a 72-year-old black woman lynched down there in the South.
In Annapolis. In
Annapolis, I'm sorry, in the North, in Maryland. Okay, where they found the damn anthrax and the damn some other virus they just found up in Maryland. Real quick, just read me that scripture out.
Kawakar, sir.
So I can get out of y'all way and let y'all jump in here before we go on to something else. Go ahead, please.
Kawakar, that they do not rise.
See what the Lord said? Enjoy it now, because you will never rise in this earth after this. I know you think you're going to the moon and you talking about planet B, and you're gonna get another planet and all that. I got bad news for you. You going in the ghetto.
Right.
Okay, you going into the white ghetto.
Right.
And you're going to live in that white ghetto for 800 years. Right. Go ahead.
Nor possess the land, nor feel.
You ain't never going to rule these lands in this earth again, ever, for what you've done in this earth. for being so evil and so cruel. And let me tell you something. Thanks be to the Lord that he created man and that man did not come from evolution. Because if man had come from evolution, he would have killed all mankind by now.
Yeah.
But thanks be to the Lord that he can step in at any time and adjust mankind where he can't just do whatever the hell he wants to do.
That's right.
That's right.
Keep reading it.
He's the ruler over men.
Exactly.
I don't understand it.
Go ahead.
Kawaka, sir. Nor fill the face of the world with cities.
You ain't never gonna fill the face of the world with cities ever again.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Kawaka, sir. For I will rise up against them.
God is rising up against you. That's what's gonna happen in the earth. Now I'm gonna stop right there, but I got to ask you to read one more. Read me the part where the Lord said, "They shall say, is this the man?" Give me that part. The last verse, y'all, and I'm getting out of it. You understand? Because this part is so I cannot wait. Enjoy yourself now. Have your lattes and your arrogant, stupid, racist ways against the people that you like. I mean, what kind of person could enjoy their kingdom when their kingdom is built on exterminating the North American Indians and enslaving black people for their labor for 400 years? You murdered the so-called Indians for the land. You incarcerated and enslaved us to work the land and build you the empire. Now you're sitting back enjoying all your riches and all your wealth and all your power. God knows what you've done overseas. And you sitting back like, you know, what is
wrong with y'all?
Problem, man? It's only the fact. We're only dealing with the facts. We're only dealing with the facts.
That's
you
right.
deal with the facts, but the facts are not what you think they are. Finish what you're saying.
That's right.
Read that part for me, and I'm out.
Kawaka, sir. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee.
Let me tell you something, Mark. I go, while you drink your latte, this scripture is like hot chocolate for me.
Right.
Read that part again. Last point. Go ahead.
Kawaka. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying,
they shall narrowly look upon thee and consider you, saying, what?
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Go ahead.
That did shake kingdoms.
In that day, that's what they're going to say about you. They're going to say, are you the man that made the earth to tremble? Because that's what you do right now. You have made the earth to tremble at your presence. The earth is trembling at your presence. You shook kingdoms, but now the Lord going to shake your kingdom. And boy, what a day it's going to be.
Right.
Salakia, y'all go ahead. And by the way, we are not black supremacists. We believe in black justice like you. We believe in law and order and the rules of righteousness and the rules of humanity and God-given rights in the earth.
Right.
You understand? How you gonna talk about rules and law and you done enslaved us 400 years? Give me a break. You understand?
Right.
Go ahead, Salaka. I'm out of it. Y'all jump in. And
so
I
just
move to another topic in a few minutes. Go ahead.
I just wanted to bring out, you know, what was being said in reference to the Arbery case and going further. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Barack Wana is so right. She said, these are the same devils that say I have black friends. You are so right. Sorry, Q. Go ahead.
That's right.
You're so right, sis. You're so right.
That's one a hell of a daughter you to supply the brother. You know what I'm saying? Christ.
Damn right.
Damn right. She's been down by law for sure.
Damn
but
right.
we're trying to save the brothers that might get a bad verdict in the Arbery case. Because in Proverbs 1 and 20, you understand, if you could read that with what Kahan was saying, you understand what's going on out in these streets with you running around protesting with these folks or what have you. It's not going to get you any help. We're going to show you what the real protest is. You're going to know who it is that this wisdom is talking about. Go ahead.
Kawakan. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets.
Okay. There's only one group that does this. Right. Keep going.
Kawakan. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
You understand? So what we want to do is bring the brothers and sisters together under the ISUPK so that they will not be faulty in their judgment and be judged by Esau, who's looking for any excuse to do us harm or what have you. Right. You know what I'm saying? You come under this banner, you understand, not one hair on your head, you understand, that the Lord has not numbered and cannot fall from you unless he ordains it. So with that, you understand, I'm going to leave it alone, but we are here in the chief concourse, and we're going to save our brothers and sisters with the only true protest that's going on, turning back to the law, statutes, commandments under the Most High in Christ.
Hey, damn right. Ka'ama Ya'ala Bungad said, before you complain about black supremacy, you should end white supremacy first.
That's right.
Let's see that day come to an end. You understand?
The kettle calling the pot black.
Amaf Gapan said, could you read verse 16?
Oh, shit.
Come on, sir. Come on. Verse 16. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood.
It's all
make haste to shed blood, brother.
That's right.
True point. I gotta move. You somebody else want to put in some last?
Oh no, that's it, General. That's it, General.
Go ahead. Both of y'all just go on and drop.
I was gonna play this here for you, like for the oppressor who was just who was just talking about resisting arrest. That what's his name? Rodney King. For resisting arrest. Well, what is this? What is this oppressor doing here? He attacking everybody, and he ain't get beat yet.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
The cops retreating with the AR.
Yeah.
On the sling, tucked away.
They know how to preserve. They know how to preserve life in them days. Right. In those days, they know how to preserve life when they get ready. And in this video, I think this guy took the cop's police car at one point.
Yeah. Yep.
And he stabbed.
And like I said, I don't know if you remember.
Let Khan get the last comment, then we got to move on to another story. Go ahead, Khan.
No, I was just saying this guy, he already assaulted or stabbed someone earlier. I believe he might have killed someone earlier.
I think you're right.
Before
2 adults
before
and a child.
Khan. So this right here, like them saying resist, just by you existing is resisting. Just by you being a black, Hispanic, and Native American, your breath being in your lungs is resisting.
Yep.
You being alive is resisting.
Right.
Give it up.
You understand? The whole context of resisting. We've been hearing this whole thing resisting. Well, just us being alive is resisting their authority.
That's so heavy, y'all. That's so heavy.
And
that should be on a t-shirt. Go ahead, Nia Thought.
I don't know if you all remember too with the 2 young kids that was actually shooting at the cops, and they let the kids and them just empty the clip.
Dang.
And they did not shoot back. The sheriff and them didn't shoot back. There's a story that came out recently about that.
Many times, many tapes, all that, man. Where they done fired on them cops, man, and them cops, they still trying to preserve the cat's life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Bring them to justice.
You know what I mean? Look at that here. Look.
There it is.
Listen, he running the truck with the car. Look at this old Edomite. And still he ain't. If that was Jake, he'd have blew him away.
Got a long gun.
Look, he got the gun on his left side. Listen. Look at that. He's right up on the truck. He could have popped him and put him out right there. And he didn't. Okay.
Jen, on this one, they say right at this point, the driver take the hammer and beating the cop
with the hammer.
The hammer as he's speeding off.
Insane.
And they arrested.
Insane.
But that ain't resisting.
They preserve it. They gonna preserve their lives. Okay, I gotta move on. Come on, y'all. What we got? What else we got on the list?
It was real.
Come on. I don't. We had the NFL player, the DoorDash driver.
Give me the next big one.
Young Dolph.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm not that familiar. Let's roll it. If that's the big one, let's move that one. We got 12 minutes, y'all. 12 minutes left on the clock.
Let's put the couple cards, sir.
All right.
Young Dolph shooting death. Here's what we know about suspects. Reports of shootings. Police continue to investigate the Wednesday shooting death of Memphis rapper Young Dolph. The high-profile rapper, whose real name is Adolph Thornton Jr., was shot and killed inside Makita's homemade butter cookies on North Airways Boulevard in Memphis, a bakery the 36-year-old frequented on his visits home. Hundreds of men, women, and children gathered in disbelief and sadness at the intersection of Joy Lane and Airways Boulevard following the shooting. Witnesses documented the aftermath on social media and identified the rapper's camouflage Corvette parked in front of Makita's. In the hours following the shooting, social media rumors began to spread about shootings connected to other Memphis rappers, retaliation efforts, and people of interest.
Yeah, like once again, because of our poverty and training in this captivity, we, in a constant war with each other. Like the whole reason Black people and Latino people are in a pretty much a civil war with each other is because of the oppression that they under. But you could never explain this to the Edomites. They will never understand that their oppression is causing us to try, because we have so much love for them and so much hatred for ourselves. After being oppressed so long, they could never understand that our beefs with each other stem from struggling from them.
Damn
right. Like struggling for wealth and fame and success. That's why damn near every young boy that turns 13 becomes a drug dealer. Because it has been presented to him as the only path to gaining some of the great wealth and success that they have had so wonderfully for hundreds of years. And so our young men and sometimes our young women are easily seduced by them. You understand? With it. And so that's why here we have another brother victimized, and why some of the blame of every Black on Black crime is to be blamed on Esau.
Damn right.
Because it's developed from their oppression. Whether they oppress us by destroying our schools, oppress us by causing separations between our mothers and fathers with these draconian child support laws, whether it be just the straight up psychological damage of being abused by their system or having to work under their oppression, all of these factors, man, we in a constant economic struggle. 400 years of an economic struggle will destroy generations of a people. And that's what we've been suffering in this place. And as a result of it, we're caught up into the same game.
Right.
Since we got a little bit of time, if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna move on to two other stories I think we definitely need to go into. One of them, Mashak, if you could bring me up, let's do the DoorDash driver real quick. If you could pull that video up. And then if we could, or better yet, there's so many good ones here. Okay, can you pull me up the video of the woman that avoided jail time as well for killing the children? Let's run all three of these, y'all. We got 8 minutes. Let's run 3 of these. I want you to run the DoorDash, run the woman that got out of the jail cell, and I want you to run. Matter of fact, run this one first. Run the monkeypox first. Then give me the DoorDash. Then give me the video of the woman that didn't get no jail time after she intentionally tried to run over a Black family with their children with her car.
Oh God.
Like they so incensed with us that if you don't cross the street, they ready to run you over. But let's get the monkeypox, because we got to give them the prophecy, y'all, on what's getting ready to happen. They thought that the corona was it. Man, some of these viruses about to mix with other viruses out, and they about to get you Edomites something good.
Right. That's right.
What is monkeypox virus? Maryland infection is second in U.S. of 2021.
A second infection in the U.S. in Maryland at that. Y'all jump in. Go ahead.
The highly contagious disease, monkeypox, a viral cousin of smallpox, was reported in Maryland this week, marking the second U.S. case in recent months. The infected person, who recently traveled to Nigeria, had mild symptoms and was recovering in isolation, according to the Maryland Department of Health.
Coco Puffy Head says she been praying for them. Coco Puffy Head, you ain't right, girl. You've been praying for the monkeypox. Go ahead.
Here's what you need to know about the potentially fatal illness. What is monkeypox? The disease is endemic to Central and Western Africa and was first discovered in lab monkeys in 1958. It's in the same family as the smallpox virus, variola, with milder symptoms and a lower fatality rate, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Right, that's hell. That's coming to America.
Yeah.
Like, that's hell on earth coming to this empire.
You know they found all the smallpox vials laying around. I wonder what's going on.
And they mad as hell with Fauci because they said he was doing the gain of function in the Wuhan lab. They claiming he was gain of function. For those that may not know, is they take a virus and they manipulate that virus to make it more deadly. Okay, and he's supposed to be on the health side trying to save lives. Instead, he working on viruses. According to them, he working on viruses, making them more deadly than ever before. And they believe that this virus got out. I got news for you. The Most High opened the door. You understand? You understand? And more gonna come out. Y'all jump in. Salakia. Come on. I'm just trying to rush through the last 8 minutes. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, Khan. Who's that?
Con, John, what you said, John, they didn't open the Pandora's box on many different levels. Many different plagues, man-made and man fabricated. So these different things they about to break out in this land. You understand? Because of the evil that's been being done. You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying is so right, Salaki.
Like Kyle Rittenhouse can't shoot the monkeypox.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the AR round does not kill monkeypox.
Right.
It has to bring monkeypox. Right. Like they don't understand. They could bend their laws, but the Lord's laws is going to stand. His laws and his prophecies is going to stand. That's right. I would like to see you try this case in a vacuum, Judge, and say, well, we'll take the plague without the pox, right? Without the bumps and without this. And go cry with the monkeypox. See if it's gonna leave you. Right. You gonna get more. You gonna get monkeypox, snake pox, chicken pox. All the pox gonna come on you. Right.
God. Go ahead. Read a little more.
Kawaka, sir. Symptoms include a fever, headache, and achy muscles, followed by a spotty rash. According to the CDC, the rash generally emerges on the face, spreads to other body parts, then fills with fluid before scabbing over and falling off. In total, the illness generally lasts between 2 and 4 weeks.
That's hell. And now that's broken loose in the United States.
Right.
And who knows what else is broken loose out here? All right.
And General, as that breaking loose, they know where it's coming from all the time, but they ain't no detention centers for the Africans.
Right.
They ain't putting their children. They ain't doing nothing to them. Remember they had the story how the Arabs and the Hamites was coming through the borders with Levi and Issachar, but they would let them through and push Issachar and them back.
Right.
Well, as they're trying to oppress us, the Lord bringing the monkeypox with them.
Yes,
you know what I mean? The monkeypox coming through their immigration for them. So that as they're ramping up, the Lord working it with them. Right.
Right. To come against the Most High is a fool's game. Because the Most High will step into your world with horrors you can't even imagine.
Right.
In the book of Exodus, the Lord said, if you do not obey my voice, I'm paraphrasing. He said, if you do not obey my voice, I will bring upon thee all the plagues that of Egypt that thou hast not known.
Right.
Now, he said, I'm going to bring all them plagues on you from Egypt. You know what I mean? And for those that don't understand spiritually what's going on, these plagues that the Lord is bringing is to divide us from them.
Right.
It's to divide us from them for the punishments that's going to happen. Watch my words. These plagues going to start getting racial. It's going to start. It's going to be some plagues just for white people. Like if you ain't got no melanin, this is what's going to happen to you. You know what I mean? It's going to be plagues just for that reason, to completely separate us from them.
So like it, you know?
Come on, go ahead.
As the scripture said, it said the Lord said He gonna make a difference between us and them.
That's
so
right.
Like you said, we got to be spiritually quarantined from these people, because that's what the Lord said He was gonna do. He was going to make a difference, and a difference could be life and death, sickness and wellness. So like,
you're right. And on top of it, in Exodus, the Lord said that some of those plagues only came on the Egyptians. So like it.
Come.
No coronavirus here.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty bad. You mean?
Come.
All right. All right, I'm moving on.
Come on, Council.
Can you give me the other one? What else you got?
You got the DoorDash driver?
Please. Check this out.
DoorDash driver defecates in customer's residential lobby after dropping off order.
You heathens are heathens. Like, they fighting so hard to bring these heathens over here and keeping us oppressed. These heathens coming over there, and while they bringing you their DoorDash, they drop off their DoorDash, they go down to your lobby and take a dump in your lobby.
Good night.
Read a little bit more.
Come on. A DoorDash driver in Southern California was seen on surveillance video using a customer's residential building lobby as a toilet after dropping off an order. The building manager of a Brickwood apartment building was contacted by a resident in the building, saying that there was feces all over the lobby of the 19-unit building.
Listen, there they go. That's it. It's a hand bite. Dude. Good.
Damn, what the hell?
And she taking off her clothes.
That's Ham, the youngest son of Noah. Probably 96 years before the flood.
Right.
and became the progenitor of the dark races.
That's right.
Not the Negro.
Not the Negro.
Okay. Like, she took vengeance on the Medomites. She went and dropped off their DoorDash and took a dump all over their damn lobby.
Right.
Okay. Like, that is probably an African ritual. Something like that. All right, I'm moving on. Last one. Last story. Give me that last story.
Oh, God.
If you can't, you got video on that one?
I'm trying to pull it up. No,
okay, let me know what you can do.
Okay, come on.
Good night.
White is the first one, right? The woman avoids jail time.
Sir. White woman avoids jail time after nearly hitting black kids with her car.
Go ahead.
A white woman in Boston has avoided jail time for a racist attack on black families, even though she pleaded guilty.
She pled guilty and tried to run them over. Go ahead.
Last week, 61-year-old Rhonda Wozniak pleaded guilty to 8 counts of civil rights violation and assault with a dangerous weapon for allegedly hurling racial slurs at 3 black women and their children, ages 5 to 12, outside of a cookie store last July.
Like, they hate us with a special hate. And we've been saying this for years. They sit around their dinner tables talking about us. Their coffee tables talking about us. The water cooler talking about us. At breakfast talking about us. You don't understand the amount of hatred that they have for us and the amount of insensitivity to our struggle. They don't care about it. Right. And that's why we got to turn to our God. That's why the Lord said, come reason with me together, man. You understand?
Come.
Like we got to return to him. Y'all jump in. I don't want to take it all. Go ahead. Go ahead and read a little bit more, unless somebody want to jump in.
Come on, sir. The women and their 5 kids were headed to their cars after visiting the Cookie Monster store when suddenly Wozniak, who is white, came speeding toward them in her motor vehicle, nearly hitting them. A news release from the Essex County District Attorney's Office readers reported. When one of the women asked her to slow down, she shouted racial insults and slurs at them and told them to go back where they belong.
Salaki. If I could.
Go ahead.
This just goes to show you how much you black women think you have allies with the white women and the white feminist movement. She did not only recognize, she didn't recognize the humanity of them. She didn't recognize that she was a mother with children. Once again, this shows you that you don't have allies. They're not your allies. You understand? Where are you feminists, you white feminists that's coming at her for this? See, I like stories like this because this shows you black women where your allegiance should lie at, and that you don't have these white women that you think that your friend they recognize you because you a woman. They don't recognize you. You understand? This right here is race over gender in this case.
Right.
Now I'm sure this white woman is a mother too, probably a grandmother.
Right.
But she didn't care about. She didn't recognize that this woman right here had 5 children with her, man. Right. She instead yelled out racial slurs. What part of this you don't understand by this point? How the race card is the major factor. That it trumps all other. As General Mayak said, is the only card in the deck of life.
You're right.
Like this right here, once again, it's a watershed moment for you black women and for black people.
Yep.
That when you get in the way of their convenience, you are roadkill.
Yep.
You are something that's subhuman because you are in the way of their lunch break or their comfortability in America.
Yeah.
When won't you realize this?
If I could too, sir, like this here is just a taste we get to know what our brothers and sisters went through, you know, late 1800s,
right?
1910, 1920, Tulsa. You walking home and, you know, somebody just, you know, roll by and assault you, you know.
That's true. That's true. Anybody else before we wrap it?
So, yes, it's like it's
Go ahead.
and this goes to show you too, also too. You know what I mean? Like all the facts. You can have all the facts, but that one thing that you need is that skin color.
Yes.
That lineage. You know what I mean? Facts or no facts. You have that bloodline. You know what I mean? You have a fighting chance in court. You know what I mean? Because by right, this should be a hate crime.
Yes.
It should be a hate crime.
Yeah.
But because she's old and she's Caucasian and a woman, you know what I mean, they'll give her a pass.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're going to look at her records and say, well, this is just the first time, slap on the hand, you get to go home. And now these kids traumatized for the rest of their life.
This Kyle Rittenhouse all over again. It's damn near like, again, they could do what they want and go home.
Yep.
You know, can do whatever they want and go home. Like the next oppressor female who was the babysitter and, you know, strangled the baby in the basement. Remember some little kid she was babysitting and strung the baby up in the basement. And they gave her like 6 months probation. 6 months probation. She had a daycare, and then the 2-year-old or the 3-year-old was giving her trouble. She hung the baby in the basement, not to kill it, but hung the baby as to teach her a lesson. She got, you know, probation. You know what I mean? Like this is here. This is the 1920s, the 1930s. This is lynching central all over again.
Right.
And then they changed the narrative in the court, just like they would do. He did it to himself. He did this, he did that, and you know the mob was justified. The mob, you know, the mob saved this community from this. So Rittenhouse, he, you know, in 50 years of Christ in back here, he is going to be a legitimate American hero.
Yeah,
going down in history as, you know, he had a blazing start without any rank and stripe. He saved, you know, scores of innocent protesters from these angry, vile vigilantes, so and so. Right. And we'll never know the difference unless he was there.
Yep. Yeah. You're right.
Salaki.
Go ahead.
Salaki, General, if I may. And I find it so heavy that the Republican Party and these oppressors are trying to take out the teaching of their history, their heinous history against our people. When if they were to take out critical race theory in the schools, Black children will still know the white man is the devil because they haven't stopped doing what they've always done, which is be terrorists to God's people. So like it, sir.
So true. So true. So true. You know what I'm saying? So true. And with that, hey, join us every Monday night. We'll be back live doing it up like we do on the blackwatch.news channel, man. General GEN.YAHANNA will be back next week, man, and jump back in on Saturday night. I'm Commanding General YAHANNA, man. For me and all the heavy hitters in here tonight, I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time live on the UPK, y'all.
Shalom. How about you?
And if Trump gets back in, office, and we will be fully in Nazi Germany.
That's right.
Damn right.
All over again. All right. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.
ISUPK 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK down in Florida. I'm Captain of 10,000 GEN.YAHANNA. We're here to let you know 53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commands. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022 is going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000.